Sir, that's one of my problems with the proposed legislation, is that it is very difficult to pin down a definition for fake news.
May I know,
Marami
may I
po
know
akong
what
binasa.
proposed legislation are you talking about?
Sir, Representative Ace Barber says that he proposes regulation, a regulatory framework for social media to combat fake news. And therefore, we have to define what fake news is.
So in other words, as far as this representation is concerned, wala pa akong nababasa na proposal because the proposed bill regarding fake news will come out after this hearing. Because the proposed bill regarding fake news will come out after this hearing.
We'll work that out.
But you're already asking us questions on fake news.
What is the advantage of fake news? Yes, kaya nga, kasi that is why we're holding this para magkaroon po kami ng clearer understanding kung bakit ano ang fake news, ano yung ill effects ng fake news, ano ang advantages. That's why I'm asking, ano ba ang advantage ng fake news? Para we can balance it.
And you might think, well, we'll work that out. It's like, no.
Sir, like I said,
You don't get it. The devil's in the details.
if we can have a working definition of what you call fake news,
You work it out now when you formulate your restrictions on free speech. You don't shunt that off into the future so that it's a problem that'll be solved. Who defines hate?
for instance, is clickbait first fake news? Fake yung headline pero nasa body naman yung katotohanan. What about sarcasm, sir? Kasama po ba siya sa fake news? Paano kung jokes? Fake news din po ba yun? Gusto ko lang malaman para alam ko kung paparusahan niyo po kami, alam namin kung ano yung ginawa naming mali.
Insoluble problem. Don't regulate it because you can't define it. With regards to hate speech, for example, let's say that things would be much better if there was less hateful speech. It's like, seems highly probable to me, especially if you look at the more egregious forms of hateful speech. How best to regulate it? Well, my sense is you let those who wish to utter hateful things do so, and let everyone hear them. Because that's the best way to ensure that what they're saying will be understood and rejected. Now, in order to posit that, you have to assume that the population composed of sovereign individuals is wiser than it is foolish. I think that if you put the evidence in front of people, by and large, they will do the right thing. The problem with regulating hate speech, it's very simple. Who defines hate? Who defines hate? And the answer to that is, over any reasonable period of time, exactly the people you would least want to have define hate. And so the consequences of the regulation become incalculably worse as a problem than the problem that they were designed to deal with. To think otherwise is to think in a sort of utopian manner. It's like, well, we have a problem, hate speech. Well, we can come up with a solution and there will be no problems with that solution. It's like, no, that isn't how the world works. No, you don't understand. You're screwed both ways. You don't have an option here where you're not going to suffer. That's what it means to be in a bad situation. You're going to pay a price both ways. You can pick your price. Okay, so we're going to have hate speech, or we're going to have the consequences of the arbitrary regulation of hate speech. Well, I know what the consequences are of the arbitrary regulation of hate speech, is that things get a lot worse, because hate's very difficult to define. And that's actually a real problem when you're trying to regulate it, because you have to be able to define it.
Sir, that's one of my problems with the proposed legislation, is that it is very difficult to pin down a definition for fake news.
May I know